Hi, it's John of Figurative Arc. Welcome to my channel. I am a photographer and visual artist, and I'm doing a series looking at the creative process and how that can create transformation in our daily lives, whether you identify as an artist or not. Today's video is looking at who is writing your story. That question was inspired by a visit I did last year to the beautiful island of Sicily. And in a location called the Valley of the Temples, I photographed a beautiful male nude statue. I started delving into the mythology of Icarus. There's one story where his father and Icarus are escaping an island, and his father creates wings of wax and they fly off. The father says, don't fly too high or the wings will melt by the sun. Icarus does that and he falls to his death. And when we think of that story, labels come up. Icarus was arrogant. Icarus was impulsive. Icarus had youthful abandon. And that kind of drove the story. There's another version of the story where his father and Icarus are escaping the island in a boat, and Icarus falls overboard and drowns. And then we get the label clumsy that drives that story. And I started thinking about how labels, when they are misappropriated, can drive a story a particular way that may not be accurate. Now, I understand this is a mythological story, so let me pull it into real life. So if you are labeled, whether you do it yourself or other people do, let's say for your political beliefs, your sexuality, your spiritual tradition, the issue with that is those labels can be appropriated oftentimes by the fringes that identify that way, and they end up hijacking the meaning. And so then you end up, your story is being driven more by these fringe kind of elements through the label. What I think would be helpful when we are trying to communicate our own story or understand someone else's story is to really look at how did someone arrive at where they are now. So rather than ask them, what are your political beliefs? What's your spiritual tradition? It's like, how did you come to believe the things that you believe today? How did you learn to hope in a particular way? How did you learn to love in a real way? When you understand those kind of things, instead of the labels, the process leads to a deeper, richer, and I would argue more accurate understanding of someone's story. And I think that's really important right now, that we understand ourselves, we understand other people, and even though we're all different, that can bring us together. Maybe you completely disagree. Maybe say, hey, John, I think labels are really helpful. They're kind of signposts. You have maybe a very different take. That's why I like to hear from people, because this is my take. And that's all it is my thoughts and feelings in response to visiting this awesome place on Sicily. So feel free to leave comments below. Consider subscribing if this is content that you find worthwhile. Thumbs up really does help the channel. I also leave links in case you want to explore my artwork if you have interest in that. Feel free to come back, and as we continue to look into, again, issues that I think are meaningful in our daily lives. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you again. Until then, take care.